2 days ago, Biden came out and blamed inflation on the companies that are making the products. He talked about candy at the football game. He made a Twitter post. And we should have known right then that the day CPI came out, it was going to come out hot. The next time this happens, I will have a short in the day of. Ridiculous. I should have known better. Should have known better. This is par for the course. You know, they tell you in advance. It's opposite of what they say, of course. We're going to talk about things that are coming, like price controls on goods and services and how that's worked out in the past. But just know, we were told. Bonehead Biden, the stool pigeon of the globalist, came out and told us that it is not printing money. It's not all the wrong moves that the government's making. It's these evil companies, these business owners that are putting less goods in the packages. Shrinkflation is a scam. This has happened over and over through history. And it really pisses me off. If I would have put it together as soon as he said it, which I didn't watch it actually, I had to watch it yesterday. I don't really get into football or baseball. I quit watching grown men play kids games a long time ago. But a lot of you are. I don't hold that against you. Some people really get into things. I get into other things. I like to build stuff, you know. That's how I have fun, is building cool stuff. And I'm going to be doing a lot of that on the Taylor Welding channel. But when I saw it, I thought to myself, and I told Stacy, we should have known. If I would have put that together, I would have put several contracts on a short this morning. Instead, I just sat there and watched it go through the floor. But the powers that be will prop it back up. Oh, by the way, you know, the stock market went down and gold went down with it and the dollar went up. Well, it looks like, I'm not saying gold's at the bottom, but it is close to 2,000 an ounce. I think it's about 2008. I'm not sure, it changes all the time. But if you're trying to buy on the dips, this is one of the dips. And Stacy gave me her price list, and you should get on her email. If you want her email, just go in the description. She sends out a report on the price of metals and news that surrounds it. And she wanted me to tell you that the silver harmonic backdated are $3.15 over spot. Gold Liberty are 99 over. And gold $20 US Liberty are 145 over. So guys, we always try to provide the best prices for precious metals, and I do encourage, if you're into it, buying on the dips and get 2 other bids. Keep everybody honest. You should do that on everything. But let's talk about some price controls that has happened recently. Rent control in New York City. Everybody remember that? You know what it did? It created a black market for rental units where landlords charged illegal fees and bypassed the price controls. Minimum wage. It sounds good, doesn't it? But all it is government meddling in the free market. Businesses may struggle because they can't afford to pay. But wait a minute, isn't it always their fault? It's always somebody else's fault. Job losses, reduced job opportunities, particularly for low-skilled workers. Now, I've got a little more facts. I'm going to have to dig through my notes about the new jobs that were created and who is occupying them. Very interesting. Has to do with the border that's wide open that I've been making videos about because I think it's the most important topic in this decade. It's going to affect so much, guys. The open border policy that Biden and his cronies have put in place makes absolute sense if you know what they're trying to do. Price controls on medicine. You know, right? Everybody needs, if you need medicine, then we just should put price controls on it. But what happens is the companies that produce the medicine don't have the incentive to do it. It results in shortages. Limited availability and long wait times. Agricultural price controls. Overproduction and surplus. Depresses prices and creates inefficiencies. This all has to do with meddling in the free market. Period. Venezuela. These are some countries that experienced inflation and some things they did. They did price controls, led to shortages, black markets, and a decrease in quality of goods and availability. India. Government implemented price controls on grains and cooking oil to control inflation. But guess what? It incentivized the black market and smuggling. Argentina. Energy, food, and consumer goods, switch the page here, resulted in shortages, reduced investment in production, and a decline in productivity. China. Price controls resulted in distortions, inefficiencies, decreased investment in affected sectors. Zimbabwe. Exacerbated shortages, created a black market, and hindered economic growth. Guys, this isn't going to work, and it's not always somebody else's fault. It's the people that are in charge that make the wrong decision consistently put the blame on somebody else. So the next time you hear Biden come out and say, it's the candy companies, they're the reason the prices are so high, and they're not putting the packet, it's all their fault. Have you looked at the labor market? Trying to find somebody to work is tough. Everything they have to buy to produce the products has gone up. That is always passed along to the consumer. I know I'm preaching to the choir, but this kind of information is just, really gets old. Now, I'm just gonna throw all these on the ground because I can't seem to shuffle them around. Now, there was a woman, I had a couple things I just wanted to mention. Dan had a video. A lady named Taryn in Australia couldn't withdraw $3,500 worth of cash. Now, that's par for the course, especially in other countries. It's happening here too. But he mentioned getting an increase on your ATM card. That's a good idea. It's like a default setting at $500. Maybe go to the bank, and if there happens to be a long bank holiday one day where you think there might be something funny going on, you can go get more than $500 out of the ATM. So that's one thing we can all do that won't cost us anything. And, oh yeah, here's the deal. Okay, on the unexpected added jobs that they've been lying to us about, check this out. The number of native-born workers declined by 56,000 in the last 2 months. Job growth has been exclusively for foreign-born workers. It's already starting to happen. The powers that be that are making all the wrong decisions are putting the blame on somebody else like we know they would. The jobs they are creating are getting absorbed by people that shouldn't be here. But they are here because they're incentivized to be here. I've been talking about this. Who's going to get the jobs? The people that'll work for less. You know, and if you're coming from cold to hot, it's easier. It's always easier to go from cold to hot. It's really hard to go from hot to cold, if you know what I mean. This generation, I think, has a really hard lesson to learn. And if you look at people that have already learned it from other countries, they want no part of it. Guys, have an awesome, awesome day. I'll see you in the next one. Later.